Anders may have seen something extraordinary Monday night, a fireball meteor streaking across the sky.
It's pretty violent this time. Really shook the house.
A man living in St. James City on Pine Island in Lee County wondering what's causing his house to, as he puts it, violently shake. And he's not alone. We've been getting a number of calls, emails, and Facebook postings from other viewers telling us you experience the same thing.
One man tells me he's felt his house shaking several times, but today it was worse than ever. What's interesting, a Navy spokesperson tells me they didn't have any aircrafts operating here around that time.
But I really don't think it's a sonic boom. I think it's something else. I don't know what it is, because it is. I think it's more in the ground.
And he says he would know.
I'm a commercial pilot. I used to fly for years. I've spent years in the atmosphere. I've never heard a sonic boom like that.
The twisting and shaking is causing damage to his home.
The tiles throughout the house are actually starting to pop loose. Every time this happens, it seems like one or two more tiles is getting loose. What's causing this is what I want to know.
It's kind of weird. It really is, though, to see that many at one time, fall from the sky.
Not one or two, but nearly 40 starlings were found laying dead on this street.
It was really unusual.
An unusual occurrence and a disturbing sight for both people who live and work around this neighborhood, as well as the responders who saw these birds.
Here at The Lip, we've covered a number of stories chronicling the unprecedented animal die-off that is happening around the world. 120,000 endangered antelopes were found dead in Kazakhstan, while thousands of starfish were dying on Morton Island. And this week, an estimated 8,000 black and white seabirds were found dead on the beaches of Alaska's Prince William Sound. Thousands more have washed up on beaches from California to the Gulf of Alaska over the past year.
The religious leaders you're about to meet are not your typical women and men of the cloth. These pastors are challenging the status quo. So can their New Age approach help people renew a connection with their faith and break down barriers in the church?
From weave snatching on The Real Housewives of Atlanta to the ridiculous insanity that is Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. It's not something many residents here are proud of, even as we secretly chuckle that it's entertaining.
Atlanta's off the chain!
This newest reality series, featuring this fine city and another mostly black cast, might seem like more of the same. But leave it to television to make it big and different. All of the characters showing out are men and women of the cloth.
God is gonna heal your heart!
It's called Preachers of Atlanta.
I think that tutu is almost like, wow! It kind of like lets you just be, crazy, and you're going to get outside your box.
And this is Pastor Leandria Johnson.
Here goes nothing.
Going the extra mile for her ministry, dressing up as a prostitute to blend in a tough neighborhood downtown.
I am a pastor, right? Okay. And I'm trying to find women that look like me.
She even hands out condoms and cigarettes.
You got some condoms? Let me give you some condoms.
When all of the pastors get together at a hip-hop listening party, the drama isn't far behind.
Tonight now, in the not-so-distant future, you could be wearing all of your personal information, everything from your credit card numbers to your vital signs. It's called the tech tattoo.
So this is really going beyond what the fitness tracker is?
The latest bio-wearable looks like a circuit board that gets embedded onto your arm.
With the tech tattoo, you could carry all your information on your skin.
Information like your identification and your credit card numbers.
We carry wallets around, and they're so vulnerable.
Experts say the temporary tat will also be able to monitor your vitals. They're made with electroconductive ink that contains various sensors and, in some cases, tiny microchips. Cosmetic company L'Oreal is also getting in the action with a temporary tattoo that can track UV exposure and alert you if you're in danger of burning.
The future will let you leave your debit card at home. JP Morgan Chase is upgrading all their ATMs this year to let you withdraw money using your smartphone. Well, we've come a long way from saying, I got to go tap Mac, haven't we?
It's one of hundreds of features brainstormed at the bank's Innovation Center in Columbus, Ohio. Some ideas, like a fingerprint scanner, got left on the cutting room floor, but others are being put into practice.
They want to be able to bank where they want, when they want, and how they want. And this machine is allowing us the flexibility to do so.
It's not just Chase customers. Bank of America is making its machines mobile friendly, and Citigroup's ATMs may soon scan your iris for identification. The upgrades over the years have made the machines more popular among customers than visiting a teller.
Entering the country at Kennedy Airport will now have their faces scanned.
All right, Fox 5's Jody Goldberg is live at JFK to show us how that new security technology works. Jody.
Terry, Steve, it's all in an effort to make air travel safer. This was first tested at Washington Dulles International Airport, and today's the first day the system is online at JFK. It's another tool to make sure U.S. Customs and Border Protection is keeping its citizens safe. Right now, there are 18 machines spread throughout 3 terminals at JFK. Officials say at least 500 people a day chosen randomly will be screened. And now the goal is to have facial comparison at all 5 international terminals here at the airport.
No more questions.
Dealing with the devil, passion, tears, and hours of debate later, Satanists will not be leading the city council prayer in Phoenix, nor will anyone else going forward.
We have live team coverage on this polarizing decision.
No more prayer at Phoenix City Council meetings. It's been replaced with a moment of silence after a Tucson-based satanic group requested to read the invocation.
Now the group will get the chance to speak in Tucson. After 3 hours of emotional debate and discussion last night, the Phoenix Council decided to do away with prayers altogether.
Vice Mayor, I just have to say, as
Ed, I'm not done talking. I'm sorry, Ed. I'm not done talking, and when I'm done talking, you can interrupt me.
Frankly, it's the most despicable thing that I have ever witnessed in my service to the city.
They changed a tradition that's been established for over 40 or 50 years at the city of Phoenix, overnight and done behind closed doors.
A shocking development out of Britain, where the government is now letting scientists conduct gene editing experiments on human embryos.
With me is Paul Serhal, the medical director of the Centre for Reproductive and Genetic Health here in London. And Paul, what do you make of this announcement that this kind of experimentation will be allowed?
Well, I think it's very good news.
Gene editing works like a cut and paste technique. It scans DNA, finds a faulty gene, then cuts it and replaces it with a healthy copy. Some British doctors call the approved research unnecessary.
It's being justified on the basis that it will help prevent miscarriages and stop IVF failures. But the genes that these scientists plan to look at, there's no evidence to show that any of them have anything to do with causing IVF failure or miscarriage in the first place.
University of Notre Dame professor Carter Sneed says gene editing destroys living embryos.
What we're confronted with this morning is a very basic kind of injustice. The same injustice that we see in abortion. We're killing newly conceived human beings for the sake of speculative scientific research.
Critics also say gene editing could lead to designer babies, where parents seek taller, stronger, and smarter children.
If we do look further down the road and this works, it's successful in the laboratory, we may understand more about fertilization, but what could it mean for some inherited diseases?
Well, I think the potential of such technology that if you were able to edit the DNA in order to avoid the transmission of certain genetic diseases. It's all very good news. But of course, we're still a long way off. A lot of work has to be done in order to ascertain safety, let alone the benefit that will be derived from the such procedures.